My name is Carrie D. Moranville. I'm here to present you guys with some information and a proposal for childhood obesity. I work for a group in my state of South Dakota. I will talk more about the health policy I would like to ask you guys to vote for here in a bit. First, I want to dive in with some statistics about childhood obesity and why it has become such a huge issue. A quarter of children between the ages of 2 and 10 are obese. Study shows that these children have a risk of being overweight adults and facing severe illnesses. 45% of kids in the 5th grade from California are obese. That is almost half of the 5th graders in the whole state of California that are obese. 37% of the 7th graders are obese, and 36% of the 9th graders are obese. These numbers are all almost half of the kids in those grades in California. That is extremely high. The Center for Disease and Control states that in the past 4 decades, obesity in childhood has tripled. That is huge. The CDC says that these children will grow up with social issues, sleep problems, and mental health issues, strokes, and heart disease. The medical community has labeled obesity in children as an epidemic. That is a huge statement, and we need to help find solutions to change this. You may be wondering, what exactly is considered obese? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. The doctors use the BMI measures, body mass index, to get a reading on what percentile children are. Anything between the 85th percentile and up is considered obese. There are several things that play a role in childhood obesity: income levels, parents, education, schools, lack of exercise, social interactions. A study has done by Elizabeth Moore, and she shows that the most significant problem of obesity is consumption and family structure. In her study, she shows how families have the ability to stray kids away from obesity and change eating habits and exercise routines. With that being said, my health policy I would like to present to you guys is parent education classes that are required. Given the data that we have about children's obesity and where it stems from, it comes from several places, but mostly in the home. My policy is to have doctors require parents an education class for them to learn how to help better their children. This class would only be for parents whose kids' BMIs are in the obesity range. I'm going to share some reasons why it is important why we help educate parents and the way that the home environment can have a severe impact on kids. When I say home environment, this can be broken up into several different categories. The first category, the family aspect of things. This includes the parents' weights, poverty, family habits and routines, motivations that are set up by the parents, family structures, and the parent knowledge about health. All these things fall under the parent and family and play a huge role in obesity. The next category we have is the psychological aspect of family. This includes things like the brain craze for foods, sensitivity to certain foods, and taste buds. These are all things that we can change and control, and this is what we need to do. The next category leads into integration transfer. This category includes the way parents purchase food and what kinds of foods and what forms of weight control and what physical activities they have. We next go to parents and children activities. This we see the role of family meals, household climate, parenting styles, shopping and spending routines, and teen dieting. Least but not last, we have the child category. This will include the lack of diet and exercise, genetics, learning self-control, mood challenges, learning habit controls, getting a good understanding of weight control and health issues. These categories all play together in how a family environment can hurt or help a child's obesity. The class that I want to explain to you, that I would like for you guys to vote to, would be focused on these categories. It would help parents to understand what they are lacking in their parentinghood and what they need to change. We can offer resources for those things, and when the parents find out exactly what they need and the areas that they are lacking, we can offer resources for them. Magazines, pamphlets, we can find kid activities and recommend healthy, cheap food plans or a whole entire meal plan if they need it. Only 1 out of 5 kids in the United States are getting the recommended fruits and vegetables each day, and 40% of the calories that they are being consumed are empty calories and fat. These can be incredibly changed with the help of parents. If we don't do anything to help change this pattern, we'll start seeing children die at early ages. We'll have severe adults with heart diseases, strokes, and other mental issues. The United States spends $210 billion on adult obesity. Studies show that if California got the obesity rate down by 5%, only 5%, it would save us $80 million. That's huge. We can only imagine if more states could lower their rate, and even by 5%, it would save us billions. I think that this parent obesity class could help us save us money on medical costs. The class would help in a community center. We could put the class in a community center for free. The only purchase that we have to make would be educators would have to pay for the educators and possibly the resources that we want to send out. The doctors with the parents who have kids with obesity, they would recommend them coming to the class. They could contact us or we could contact them. It's up to them. And then we could schedule a class. I'm sure you guys are wondering and thinking, what if the parents get upset about being recommended to a class? I think this is a small price to pay to stop the cycle of children being obese and growing up to be adults and being obese. From our experience so far, parents have been willing to come to class and enjoyed it. The way we see it is the way we will see if this works is by documenting the child's BMI and then seeing if it changes in 6 months. This could have a huge impact on the whole family in a positive way. I think the best way for you guys and legislation to sell this policy would be quote the statistics of child obesity, just like I have for you. Knowing that this is an epidemic could grab hold of a lot of people's attention. It is important we start to know the change the generation. It is important we start to know to change the generation after us and help our kids. There are several programs out there to help kids' obesity. The American Academy of Pediatrics is an organization that helps children by offering resources and programs to get kids on a right meal plan and exercise plan. They help counsel and offer direction. There are no organizations for parents with kids with obesity. It's all about the kids or parents who have obesity, but never about parents helping the kids who have obesity. This is why the policy that I am presenting to you is so important. We need to educate parents to help the children. The family environment is where it all starts. So let's focus there. Prevention is so important. The United States spends so much money on treatment when we need to be focusing on prevention. This policy is a prevention method that can change the treatment costs. I encourage you to vote and help the next generation. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you